that it stays like this and that we can control it to somewhat, because this is what Pinellas County's about. So thank you.
Does anybody have any questions? Anything you want to? Any questions for any of us? You got Chief Slaughters here, county administrators here, mayor.
If people do start to push their luck, and if people do start to push their luck and things go south,
Yeah.
what can they expect to happen?
Yeah, so we addressed that in the briefings we had with the deputies, and the first thing we want to do is educate and ask. And the next thing we're going to do is tell them, look, this isn't working, and you need to adjust. And if they don't want to adjust, then they're going to be asked to leave. And we're going to go down a path, as I said before, and I'll say it again, is that you're going to have to beg your way into a problem. We don't want any problems. We're going to go out of our way to make sure that people are here and they have a great time, but they do so in a healthy way and in a safe way. And if somebody really wants to get down that path, then we will have to address it. But ultimately, we could, and again, it's going to be an absolute last resort if we have to. If somebody doesn't want to leave, then if we have to charge them with something, then we'll charge them with something. But that is so far down the pendulum of where we're going to go. The first thing is, again, you can see all the signs, you can see all the people, you can see the commitment and the ask, and then we're going to have a conversation with them, and then if it isn't working, we're just going to tell them to move on. But if we get way down that path where we have to do something, of course we're prepared to do it, but it's the last thing in the world we want to do.
Can you guys put this much emphasis on every single day with how many police officers you guys have here?
Well, I can tell you that you're going to see this emphasis and this much at least, okay, and it may go on further than this, at least for a week, and certainly through next weekend. Next weekend is Mother's Day weekend. It'll be the first weekend the beaches are open, and we are expecting that we're going to see crowds. So we're going to have an effective management plan for that. And again, some of that may be just limiting access, but we're going to talk about the best ways to handle it. By all accounts, this is busy for a Monday, and up and down the beaches. When I'm telling you on a Monday that Paso Grill Beach is already at 100%. We've had to shut it down. That means a lot of people are here, but people have been cooped up and they've asked for this. And I can tell you this, let me just also share this with you. I can tell you today, there's a much different tone by the people that are on the beaches. I was out on the beaches this weekend. I was out all day Saturday and all day Sunday, and people were not cooperative. We saw some of the closed parking lots where people were ripping down the rope lines. They were pushing over the barrels. They were not cooperative with the deputies, and they were pushing back on us. They wanted to go to their beaches, and they were hell-bent they were going to go to their beaches, and quite frankly, a lot of them were not cooperative at all. When you start seeing people doing that, where they're pushing over barricades and they're pushing their way on and they're just defiant, that's not a good place to be. But the tone today is very different. Everybody that I've talked to from the north end to the south end is that people are compliant, they're cooperative, they want to be here and they want to work with us. So I hope that continues, and I have no reason to believe otherwise. But people were at a point where they needed something, and I think, and I concur, is the right thing to do to open these beaches up, and we're going to make sure that it's done in the right way, in the safe way, and make sure that everybody feels like that this was the right decision.
Sheriff, did you have any conversations with Governor DeSantis ahead of today's opening?
I did not.
Did you try to contact him? Or?
I did not. He didn't close the beaches, so it wasn't his decision. It was a decision of the county commission. There are certain things that are in his wheelhouse and certain things that are in the wheelhouse of local government. And this is a decision that was in the wheelhouse of local government. Local government's the one that closed it, so local government was responsible for opening it. And across the board, he pretty much left that decision to local government.
Sheriff, you said that Paso Grill parking is closed down right now to the public. Is this something that can be reassessed every morning?
We're going to have daily discussions about it and see. I'll talk to the city manager down there. We'll talk to the city commission. I know that that's where they wanted to start, and we'll see how it goes. But I'm a big believer in, if you got it, open it and let us manage it, because then people can spread out. There probably needs to be some discussion with the state as well about Honeymoon Island. Is that it's at 50% capacity, and as I told you, Dunedin Causeway is full. Now we got out there between the Causeway and Honeymoon Island, we got 20 deputies out there, so they're managing it. But this is Monday, and so I'd rather see them open Honeymoon Island at 100% and let us manage it. Let the people spread out in there, because they're coming, and we either have to let them in, we have to turn them around, or we got to let them spread out. But just coming and having a free-for-all isn't going to happen. So I'd rather see these areas that are all open and let people spread out. As you're seeing here, this is great. This is fantastic here on Clearwater Beach, and people are doing exactly what they should be doing. So we need to give them the space and give them the opportunity to enjoy it.
Sheriff, I know beaches are a big focus today. Have you seen any other issues throughout the county with some of the restaurants and
We haven't seen anything. You know, our tip center is still up in the call center. I talked to people in there. We're getting more questions today than anything else. You know, I think a lot of the beaches or a lot of the businesses are trying to ramp up and make their decisions about opening. I've seen some that I expected to be open, quite frankly, that are not. I think people are taking it slow, and they have to get their employees back. They got to, especially the restaurants, got to get food in, and they got to start rebuilding. So you know, I would imagine you're going to see that. But so far, we haven't had any complaints. We haven't had any issues as far as businesses are concerned.
In regards to the social distancing, I know folks are supposed to stay 6 feet apart and groups smaller than 10. Is there anything else in addition?
No, that's it. Is that, and again, we're applying a dose of common sense to this. And so, you know, if you got 2 women who show up with their 9 kids, okay, that's not going to be a problem. We're also not taking out a tape measure and measuring it. Everybody just be reasonable. Everybody just do the right thing. If everybody's reasonable and they do the right thing and they act the way they should act, we're not going to have a problem or an issue. So, you know, those are really the biggest things, and we don't have huge groups where they're acting out and you have this huge party atmosphere. Those are the things that are a problem that we're not going to let happen.
And another question, I know it's hard to talk about too much in the future because it's so nice that things are going well today, but you had mentioned if things get bad this weekend, you may close down certain parking lots.
Right.
Can people expect that if they start overwhelming the beaches that things will start closing down and kind of a relapse?
Well, as far as I'm concerned, they can expect that. You know, but we're going to take it a step at a time, and I don't want to get ahead of ourselves. This is very early, and we'll certainly communicate with you all and the public, and ask you to help us in communicating with the public. But while today is encouraging, it's Monday, and I'm under no illusion that it's going to be busier as we move on in the week. But hopefully, we get our stride. Everybody knows what the rules are. Everybody's willing to comply. But if we have to limit access, then we'll limit access in the name of ensuring that it's done right and people are healthy and people are safe, and that we don't have an atmosphere that none of us want. So we'll take it step at a time and see. But right now, I'd say it's a great success with what we've done. But we got a ways to go.
Do you feel like this is preparing you guys for this weekend, for Mother's Day and all that?
Everything prepares us for the future. Yeah. Anybody have any other questions for anybody else? Anybody?
I had a question for the chair. You talked about some of the pushback that you were seeing. Can you speak to that? Just what people were pushing back about?
Well, a lot of people think that it's too early to be doing this, that we're endangering people. This is just the first step. I think we're trying to do it slowly, like the governor said. But if people can't behave with this, it won't bode well for any other opening up. But so far, so good.
All right, anybody else have anything? We're good. All right, thank you all. We appreciate you being here. Yeah.
I talked to you about the Pinellas Park business owner that was arrested.
Right.
The judge dropped the case against him. Just
Right.
your comments and thoughts on that.
Well, be clear about that. No judge dropped any case against them. Okay, the state attorney made a decision to dismiss the case, and that's a decision the state attorney made before. And I can know this, and I can tell you, before any of those lawyers were involved, there was clearly probable cause to arrest him. And as I keep telling everybody, is that you got to beg your way into a problem with us. We don't want problems with anybody. We want people to be respectful of us, and we're going to be respectful of them, and he wasn't. And he was given ample opportunity to comply with the law. And the order from the governor says law enforcement shall enforce this. And when it says you shall enforce it, that's what we did. And we were out there at least 5 times. I was out there personally and asked him to comply, and he said no. So if you don't comply and you're going to be obnoxious and use profanity and do all the things that he did, he begged his way into that problem. He begged his way into a ride to jail. But I can tell you with 100% certainty it had nothing to do with those lawyers or anything. The state attorney made his decision before they're even in the case. And this is not unusual in misdemeanor cases. And I have no problem with the state attorney's decision. And sometimes simply an arrest takes care of the problem and the case should go away. So it is what it is, but there's nothing more to it than that. And I see what's going on out there. I saw that press release this morning, and they're claiming some sort of quote victory, whatever. That's a bunch of rhetoric. The decision was made by the state attorney, and I concur with it.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I can see you. You're right.
Everything he did was the rest of the GSP. Thought I'd let you know. That's awesome. I didn't know you were
Make sure you don't need anything else after that.
Oh my God, that's awesome. Well, good. I'm glad you got it.
I guess we're all set. He said he's good.
The other station is not here, right?
Thanks. See y'all. Thanks for coming out.
Thanks so much.
So now they're saying if you're a resident, you can come back and walk to the beach.
Correct. Correct. Absolutely.
Thank you, Sheriff.
Take care. Have fun.
Nice seeing you.